Welcome to All the Gear But No Idea, the South Australian fishing podcast hosted by Rhodey and Diz. The boys will share their tall tales of the one that got away, as well as some regular segments they know all you fishing tragics will enjoy.
G'day guys and welcome to episode 100, Rhodey. We've done it.
Dizzy, we're there. I'm going to crack a frothy to that one.
We've done it. There we are. I've just punched one through the covers. I sort of wasn't too sure whether it was going to get to the boundary, but it's gone all the way. I've knocked it through the covers for 4. I'm taking off the helmet. I'm raising the bat. We've done it, mate. We've made 100.
You've only been talking about this 100th episode for about the last 43 episodes.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe just past 50.
Talked a big game, but we made it to 100. I can't believe we did it, mate, and it's great to be here with you. Of course, we did have our 100th celebration on the weekend, just gone down at the Colonelite RSL. I'm probably giving that a solid 9.2 out of 10, Rhodey.
Dizzy, it was a ripper day, wasn't it?
Great weather.
Some great guests.
Great company.
Great turnout.
Great
beers.
Supporters.
Great sausage
beer. Great snags.
Kids games, prizes.
Yeah, the whole works, mate. You really turned one on.
We should have sold this like this. Episode 99, we could have got a few more numbers.
We could have. But no, it's great to be here with you, Rhodey, on episode 100. And we've got a lot happening in this episode. We're going to get through all of our usual stuff. And then later today, our guest will be a recap of the 4 different guests that we had in 3 sort of segments, if you will, on the day.
We had Andrew Harriss from RecFish. We had Dan, the fishing guru, Waye. We had Cadel Harriss, who was a former guest, and he was a part of the Reeling in Junior Anglers program.
Yep.
And we had Simon Green from Savage Tackle. So it was a bit of a all-star reunion.
Yes, it was. There was some, like you say, great guests. A lot of other people joined us on the day and it was fantastic to catch up with them. See some new faces, Rhodey, I think, as well. And
met a few people, met a few listeners, which was always good.
Yeah, it was. It was fantastic. So thank you for everyone coming along. Thanks for tuning on the 100th. And I'm going to make sure I bring the energy, Rhodey, but we should get into our usual segments, shouldn't we, Rhodey? The oranges and lemons.
Dizzy, I'm going to start us off with my orange for the week, and I'm not going to start on the 100th episode because everyone knows that was great, but one specific moment on the 100th episode that really, really warmed my heart, Diz.
Yeah?
The feedback about the joke. Bring back the joke.
How good was that, Rhodey?
I think that came out multiple times, Diz.
It did. It was sort of clearly a fan favourite. Maybe that explains a few listeners dropping off after we got rid of the joke all those
Diz, and I've
years ago.
Since we got our nifty new podcast mixer, I found a new little feature.
Go on. That'll be perfect for when it's your turn.
So if I roll out that little magic button with the joke, I think it could be a goal. So what I reckon is if you've got a good fishing joke, send it through.
Okay.
We might not do it every week, but we might just do it on special occasions.
Yeah, fair enough. Special occasions when we've got a good enough one.
All right, Diz, what's your orange?
Rhodey, we got onto a king, me and Hugh.
Yeah, thanks for the invite.
Yeah, well, we snuck out there. It was a great day. Weather was glorious. Just jigging. Got him on the jigs. Great day. It was great to have Hugh on the boat because he was not long home after his lovely fiancée gave birth to their firstborn child.
So how old was Sydney when Hugh came out fishing?
6 or 7 days old, I think.
Can anyone beat that out there? Please hit us up if you got out fishing in the first 6 days of your kid's life.
Very, very impressive effort by Hugh. And yeah, good to catch up with him. Good to get onto a king. And he did hook one, but he just dropped it, unfortunately.
Do you reckon it was a lack of sleep? Maybe his brain was elsewhere?
Could have been. Who knows? But it was a good day. I'll roll it straight into my lemon, Rhodey. And we did manage to sneak out on the weekend in the afternoon. The weather was looking good. Went down there. Pez was keen to come with us. You were down there. Lovely day again. Good weather. Beautiful, glorious. Glass off.
We just had to get a few pre-100th episode jitters out, didn't we? Get the nervous energy into something. We did.
We really wanted to just sort of see if we couldn't, create something to talk about the following day. Anyway, we we're out there. Lovely. Thank you very much for bringing along the Coles donuts, and we ended up with a donut of ourselves. We didn't catch a single thing.
It was fitting the donut packet I bought from Coles that morning, wasn't it?
It was horrible.
Could not catch a kingfish, could not find any tuna, and couldn't even catch a squid in our little 10 minutes at the end.
Yeah, it was pathetic.
We thought we'll just duck around the corner, give it a quick little 5 minutes, catch a couple of squid, and that'll at least soften the blow. Had a swim. It was a nice swim. That was probably the highlight.
Yeah, that was the highlight.
Easily the highlight. Because I'll tell you what wasn't the highlight, Diz. I'm going to roll straight into my lemon. And not just on this weekend, but over several trips recently out at Warina. Taking your boat out on a nice day at Warina is a pleasure until it goes to get the boat out of the water.
Nasty.
What was there, a dozen boats queued up in the marina? And I reckon there was 18 the other day.
Yeah. But for some reason, sometimes you just get stuck behind some nuffies.
Do you want to know why? Because anyone that has a good boat, anyone who launches at Victor is going offshore. Fair?
Yeah.
So they all know what they're doing. They all have a pretty good boat. Warina is a lot more safe. It's a lot more family friendly. There's a lot more people that don't use their boat. And look, we know they're just learning.
Yeah.
But that doesn't make them any quicker.
No, that's right.
Either we need more lanes at the boat ramp.
Yeah, we do. Something needs to be done.
Probably opening up Cape Jarvis once his dredging is all done. I think you can launch there during the day. Is that right? But just not early and late?
So. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of conflicting reports.
So they are dredging there, I think, aren't they?
Yeah, I think it's open from 7 a.m. till 6 p.m.
Yeah, but I suppose we were out of the water by 6, but only just on the weekend.
Yeah, we're out of the water.
And generally, if we're doing a morning job, we're out before 7.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
So getting the boat out of the water at Warina is a bit of a nightmare. Yeah. And car parking is a bit of a nightmare because there were trailers parked all over the shop.
Yeah, there was. We're hoping, we know what RecFish are doing behind the scenes, already doing a lot of advocacy around that across the state, which is great to hear. Wraps up the oranges and lemons. Let's get into the merch, Rhodey. The T-shirts, get your orders in. They are fantastic. We managed to give out some T-shirts to anybody who joined us at the 100th. That was great. The orders are in. We've got a few spare, not a heap, and not in all sizes. But if you want one, send us a message, send us your size, and we'll let you know whether we've got one. Is that fair, Rhodey?
Yeah, that's it, Diz. And we can certainly, if we get enough interest, we'll do another order. They're $40 for adults, $30 for youth, and $25 for kids. And we can arrange postage for $10 if you need.
Beautiful.
They looked bloody good on the weekend, Diz, I thought, if I do say so myself.
Yeah. I wouldn't say the model was looking much good.
Oh, well, that was you. What about me?
No, I had my trusty navy on.
Oh, you did too.
Anyway, Rhodey, the monthly photo comp. We're going to get this going again in sort of, it's late in January now.
Probably now
we're going to
February
run
job,
Feb.
isn't it? Yeah, February competition.
So send us in all of your photos. Bit more to come on that in the next episode, but we just do want a little reminder for you that the photo comp will be resuming. There'll be some great prizes to be given away every single month. So it's worthwhile storing those photos and sending them in when we've got the competition running. Rhodey, let's get into the news.
Rhodey and Diz have been searching far and wide to bring you the latest news across all fishing in the state, and we'll give you the rundown on what you need to know.
What do you got for me, Rhodey? I believe RecFish are hiring. They've hired.
Yeah, they've hired, Diz. The RecFish now has a new project officer, and it is a marine scientist by the name of Joshua Bland. So he's a keen sponsored fisher. He's passionate about fishing and science and the community. It sounds like a great combination. So he's going to be heading up RecFish's new citizen science projects this year. And I think you'll be hearing a lot more from Josh and from RecFish over the coming months.
Yes, I'm sure you will. Great to see his introduction to what he's passionate about and everything on the RecFish socials. jb.angler is his handle on Instagram, I believe.
Yep, sounds right, Diz. And we've met him from afar.
We have met him from afar. I know that he does get out with another friend of the show, Joshy Davey.
Yeah, and we saw him on the water, didn't we? And, you know how you do. You communicate from boat to boat. You sort of chat a bit, but...
There's one thing I know about those blokes. They know how to catch fish.
They were catching kingies that day, weren't they?
They were doing very, very well for themselves.
And he'd be a likely candidate for a podcast soon to come.
Yes, we can't wait. We'll definitely get him on, Rody. Great call. Righto, Rody, we've got the coast-to-coast competition, which is coming up very soon. We do usually manage to fish that one ourselves, Rody, don't we?
We do, Diz. I think we've been the last couple of years. Went out with Tice last year and had a ripper day. Didn't win, but geez, we were close.
Yeah. No, it was a great day.
We caught a lot of fish.
We caught a lot of fish. We did catch a lot of fish. It was great to be on the boat with Tice. He got us onto him as he always does. And
so tell us the details for 2024, Diz.
Well, look, Rody, I think you can expect a lot of the same. It's a fantastic tournament run by Steve and Sarah Powell and the family. They do a fantastic job. Of course, Club Marine, major sponsor again for the 10th Coast to Coast tournament. It is from the 9th to the 11th of February at Victor Harbour. Again, I believe they've got the racetrack up and running again for those who want to camp there the night. And they'll do all the usual stuff, a huge amount of prizes. Dan's doing great work with How's Your Tackle down there to get yourself some IQF pillies, burley pillies, and of course flaked ice. They will have them there. You need to get those pre-orders in though, because they are hot property, that stuff. They
certainly are, Diz, and we're going to be on KI, which is fast approaching. So we're going over there for sort of 8 nights, so we won't be able to make it this year, but we'll do our best to get one of the winners or something on the podcast for a bit of a recap, will we, Diz?
Yeah, we will. And there's, a little over 2 weeks to go now, I think. So it'll be here before we know it. The comp entries are still open. You need to download the form, send it in, get yourself involved, because I think the timing might be right, Rody. I think the timing might be okay. They're just starting to... The reports are starting to trickle through. Maybe some of that warm water pushing in. So hopefully plenty of fish to be caught in that comp, and we'll keep a close eye on it, Rody.
Diz, we certainly will. Now, what's our next bit?
Well, the Bonnie upwelling, Rody. Algal bloom.
Diz, it's really interesting, this one, isn't it? It's we know the Bonnie upwelling had a lot to do with the Port Mac wind farm proposal.
Yes.
Didn't it? That was one of the big reasons. So it's a place in the southeast with a dense amount of biodiversity, Diz?
Yes.
Is that the right word?
I think so. Sounds believable.
And have you been following those photos that have been popping up all over the place? Those satellite images?
That's the phytoplankton bloom, algal bloom or something?
Yeah, I knew algal bloom. I didn't know a lot about the last one, Diz. But some of the photos, it goes a long, long way, doesn't it? It goes way past KI. It's a lighter coloured water, and there's a lot of theories over what that's doing to the tuna fishery, Diz.
Okay.
So it brings cold, nutrient-rich water to the sea surface. This is the Bonnie upwelling, and this algal bloom, to do with that, is extending a long, long way. It's got that light, sort of milky coloured water on the satellite, Diz.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of theories about how that's affecting the bait, which in turn is affecting the tuna, Diz.
Yeah, wow, interesting.
So it's west of Portland it starts, and it's going like a long way across the state just at the moment. Way past KI, sort of down south of the Eyre Peninsula it's extending to now on this map, isn't it?
Yeah, unbelievable, Roddy.
And the other thing I did read... This was sort of someone hypothesizing, saying that, this algal bloom, what does that bring? That brings the next little part of the ecosystem. Then that brings the bait. What comes for the bait? The big fish.
Okay.
What does that mean?
Tuna.
Barrel season's going to be hot.
Oh, geez.
You heard it here first. It is going to be on for young and old.
Wow, okay. Big call.
That's just my hypothesis.
Big call from the big guy.
So
on the big hundredth.
I reckon that's what's going to happen, Diz. So I'd be booking in your Port Mac holidays.
Yeah, righto. Okay, coming from the bloke who's never caught one. Very interesting.
Yeah, I speak to people, Diz.
Good, Brody. What else have we got in the news? I'm hearing a lovely little comp event coming up, I should say, 2024 Coorong Classic.
Yeah, Diz, look, there is fishing comps all across the state. I know there is a few coming up this long weekend. We don't touch on every one of them every week because there's hundreds of them. Yeah. But this one we've never talked about.
Yeah, so this one is the 10th Feb.
Yeah, so that's a few weeks away, Diz, and it's down at the Coorong, obviously.
Interestingly, at the same time as the Coast to Coast.
Oh, it is too.
So you're either kind of saying, nah, I'm going for the Coorong Classic, or nah, I'm going down there for the coast to coast.
So it's open to ANSA and RecFish SA citizen science members. So you can still sign up for the citizen science. Fish need to be submitted by 4:15 on the Track My Fish app. Fishing officially finishes at 4 p.m. So there's going to be an ANSA marquee in down there to get all your information and all that sort of stuff. The species that you can target are black brim mulloway, salmon, trout, and yellow eye mullet. They need to be of a minimum length as per Purser, and there's some great prizes down there. Diz?
There are some good prizes, Rhodey, and great little comp to get down there for the 10th of Feb if you're down that way. So get your entries in and go and support. It'll be a fantastic event. Rhodey, RecFish SA have been busy. We've covered off a lot of stuff that they've been doing for the rec community out there, but they have recently sent in a ministerial request for essentially a review of the recreational allocation of Gulwa pippies for both the limits and the zones in which the rec community can fish. This is on the back of the biomass being confirmed with surveys down there as being, sustainable, if you will, and there's been another 100-ton allocation for the commercial pippy quota.
So, I suppose they're just trying, generally when one goes up, the other one goes up. Is that fair?
Well, I don't know whether that's a good general rule of thumb because I'm not sure it always happens that way, but
in theory,
you would like to think that if an extra 100 tonnes is okay for the commercials, you'd like to think that the recos are allowed to fish a bit more if they've deemed it sustainable enough for another 100 tonnes to go through the commercial sector.
Yeah, exactly right, Diz. We'll just touch on that one and we'll keep an eye on it in the future.
We certainly will, Rhodey. We'll look forward to that. It's a great way to spend the day with the fam down there at Gulwa, sort of chasing a few pippies around the beach, as they say.
We've only been talking about that for the last 6 weekends in a row too.
Yeah, we have.
What about the boat ramp down at O'Sullivan's Beach? Diz?
Yeah, so the boat ramp down at O'Sullivan's Beach, RecFish are again advocating on our behalf around basically, we did touch on this around the double dipping, but at the Onkaparinga boat ramp, the O'Sullivan's Beach boat ramp in the Onkaparinga area, they have had some people down there handing out a large amount of fines.
And this is around the app as well, isn't it?
This is to do with the app. So this is people who you can no longer buy a ticket when you launch there. So they've then requested people to basically download an app or log on online to pay for their boat ramp fees, which understandably some people who have been expecting a ticket machine for sometimes decades are then going down there with little understanding of the app or maybe not even really understanding how that sort of thing works, and then they've copped the fine.
Does the app work on your Nokia 3320 or whatever they're called?
Look, I don't know.
You got to think about those people, don't you?
You do.
And this is similar, Diz. I think the Copper Coast Council up at Moonta and Kadina and Wallaroo did the same.
Yep.
And they copped a bit of backlash there. So that's something to keep an eye on, Diz.
It certainly is. There'll be more to come on these stories, Rhodey, and that just about wraps up our little news segment.
All right, Diz, let's get into the tackle item of the week for big episode number 100. Thanks.
Let's do it.
Now it's time for Rhodey and Diz to really show you what it means to have all the gear with a lot of idea as they review a tackle item of the week.
All right, Diz, this is another great item from Savage Tackle. Simon was there on the weekend, supported us with some prizes, and this one comes from Diz. I don't know whether, going by the numbers, everyone who's listening's probably seen that Instagram reel we put up, the snapper release weight.
You're pretty proud of that, aren't you?
It's going gangbusters, that one.
Yeah. I think we can thank the person filming.
I think we've talked about the snapper release weight, but what we haven't talked about is the Savage Tackle premium hand reel.
Yeah. Great piece of kit.
So, Diz, what is it? It's a Wilson hand reel with a winding handle, then has added to it 50 metres of 190 kilo breaking strain polyester cord onto a 90 kilo hook and ball bearing swivel, And then what do you do with it, Diz? You can hook it on to your burley pot or your release weight.
Yes. Love it.
So we actually probably need another one because I was saying that would be a great way to get rid of that mess of a burley pot rope in the corner of our boat.
Wow, interesting.
So we might need two.
Okay, this is interesting. So you're sort of all of a sudden just thinking that we're going to be using the release weight and the burley pot all at the same time. Don't mind it.
Well, what happens if you nannygai fishing, king fishing, whiting fishing with a burley pot out, you catch a big snapper, you're in 20 metres of water. You want to look after that snapper to get it down, avoid the barotrauma. What do? Do you pull up your burley pot? No, you need two.
Okay.
I think we need another one.
Wow, huge call here.
We are all the gear at no idea.
Yeah, 2 seems reasonable.
2 seems fine to me.
2 seems reasonable, 3 seems excessive.
No, I don't think we need 3, but you never know. But no, it's a great option, Diz. It's... you could do that with a bit of thick mono, couldn't you?
Yep.
It's probably not as easy to handle.
Nah, it's not. Of course it's not.
That cord is nice to hold on to.
Oh, it's a lovely piece of cord. It's premium. It's premium cord.
And it's a lot easier to keep neat and tidy than, like I say, our mess of a burley pot rope that sits at the back of the boat.
Yeah, no, I love it. Love it, Rody. Brilliant stuff.
So hit up Savage Tackle or any of their tackle stores they supply to get your hands on one of them, Diz.
Yep, absolutely, Rody. Love it. Nice little tackle item. Now is time for us to... We're going to do a bit of a throwback here. So we did, like we said, we had the 100th episode special on, just gone on the weekend at the Colonel Light Bowl RSL Club. It was a lovely afternoon. And we're now going to throw to the guests that we had on the day, which, just to recap, was Andrew Harriss, RecFish and Northbank owner. Great to have him. Cadel Harriss and Dan Waye, the fishing guru. And, of course, Simon Green from Savage Tackle. So let's throw to them now, Rody.
Now it's time to get our guest on the line. We'll ask them the all-important 5 questions, then chat all things fishing in SA.
All right, Diz, we'll introduce Andrew Harriss here for this would be his 3rd or 4th go on the podcast, I reckon. Diz, would that be right?
Yeah, I'd say so. He's been a fantastic guest of ours for a few episodes now, and it's great to have him on again today for the big 100th, and I'm sure he's been extremely busy. We're looking forward to hearing from him, and recently took over running Northbank, and so anybody out there today who's looking for a new boat, come and have a chat with Harry. He'll probably tell you sometime 2026. Would that be about right, mate? Or
sounds about right, mate.
And also the man behind RecFish, so doing some great work there as well, Diz.
Excellent. All right, well, Harry, we sent you through a few questions, mate, so we're just going to try and keep this short, sharp and shiny. You've done the 5 questions for us a couple of times, and we know about your best fish and those sorts of things, but how has your fishing been going lately, mate?
Compared to how it used to be, not that flush. Just had a little baby girl on the 28th of December, so that's keeping us busy now with 2 kids at home, and then the business. But did manage to sneak out for a couple of little Coorong sessions recently.
Beautiful.
On the Mulloway on some light tackles, so that's been fantastic. But other than that, that's about it.
Yeah, epic, mate. We've heard quite a few people have been doing well down the Coorong, getting some mullies.
Mulloway's fishing well down there.
Yeah, excellent.
Beautiful. Now, Harry, we know you're an avid listener. Tell us your highlight from the first 100 episodes.
Mate, I did think about this when you sent this through today. And first of all, I'd just like to say congratulations on 100 episodes. It's been fantastic. And there's been no episode really in my mind that has stood out, because I think the diversity of people that you have on this podcast and what you provide to the South Australian recreational fishing community is massive. So I would say all 100, mate, and congratulations on that 100, and just keep going.
Thank you, mate. We did get asked this morning whether we were going to 200, but it's been pretty hard putting up with Rody for 100 episodes, so I'm not sure we'll get there just yet. But
how many beers in that time?
Yeah, well, we sort of probably average 3, don't we, for an episode?
Yeah, about that. A couple of coffees if it's a morning job, but normally 2 or 3 beers.
To get through. So your favourite guests, mate, and why? Can you pick a guest out of the 100 we've had so far?
Nah, so as I said before, it's a great podcast for South Australian recreational anglers, and you have some really good guests and diversity of guests across the show. You got people like Josh Davey, you got Flacky, You got Tyson. So you got charter guys, you got average fishos, and you got hardcore fishos who just love what we do. And I think that's what I like most about the show is that you can have people like that on the show, and then you can be talking to politicians like David Spears and Katrine and other people within the industry who've got nothing to do with fishing but have a lot to do with the rules and regulations side of things. So.
Beautiful. Now, Harry, you can't be positive all the time. What's your advice for the next 100?
Just keep going. Drink as many beers as you need to get through an episode. But just keep doing what you're doing. Keep it organic and realistic, and just keep the people that you're having on the show as raw as it needs to be, but then as upbeat or as informative as it needs to be as you grow. So I think you guys have done a great job, and take my hat off to you.
Awesome, mate. Thank you very much. You've been a great supporter of the show. We love what you do for the rec community as well, mate. So it's great to have you here today in acknowledgement of all that support for the journey. So thank you very much. We've had some epic days on the water with Harry, haven't we? So we'll hope for a few more between now and episode 200.
We certainly do. Now, it'd be remiss of us not to ask you quickly, Harry, what is happening with RecFish? Can you give us a 60-second summary? I know you could talk for an hour, but what can you give us?
In 60 seconds, mate, there's a lot of stuff happening at the moment. Asher is actually on his first holiday, I think, since he's had the job. So, but yeah, things like boat ramps. Obviously, the O'Sullivan's Beach boat ramp debacle was something that we were talking about the other day. I was interviewed on 5AA on Monday morning. I didn't even get from my car to my office before the chief of staff of the Premier rang to discuss what I was talking about. But yeah, there's lots of things happening across the state. I just encourage everyone to get involved. Follow it on social media because that's where obviously lots of the information that we're doing comes out. But things from boat ramps, access and allocation reviews is happening at the moment, which is extremely important. But just a massive amount of stuff. Follow it on social media. If anyone's got any questions, give me a call or give Asher a call.
Beautiful. Well, Harry, thanks a lot for joining us for the third or fourth time, I reckon, in the journey. So you're always a great guest, and thanks for coming on in episode number 100.
Thanks, lads, for having me, and congratulations again. Cheers.
Awesome. Okay, Rhodey, we are very lucky to be joined by another previous guest.
Cadel
welcome.
Harriss.
Thank you for having me. Hi.
Now, Cadel, for anybody who doesn't know, Cadel's been on the Channel 7 News recently, haven't you, mate? Can you tell us all about that?
Yes. I got on Channel News because I made a sign, "It's my birthday, can I please have your autograph?" And I went to Cricket Australia, their training session, and someone saw it and got me down, and I met some of the players.
Very good, Cadel. Now, that is very exciting, but not quite as exciting as coming on the podcast for a second time, is it?
We'll
you don't have to answer that. All right, Cadel. Now, how's your own fishing been going lately, mate?
Good. I've caught a couple Tommies off Edithburgh Jetty.
How good.
And went to Waye and caught 6 squid.
You're
Jeez, that's good, mate. Well done.
Your hat's a winner too.
Is that a Christmas present?
Yeah, from my uncle.
Nice, mate. Excellent. All right, Cadel, can you tell us maybe one of your highlights from the first 100 episodes? Was it when you came on?
Yeah.
All right, and Cadel, apart from yourself, who's your favourite guest?
Daniel.
That's your mate Dan Waye in the background. He looks after you, does he?
Yeah.
All right, now, Cadel, have you got any advice for me and Diz for the next 100 episodes?
No, it's perfect.
Oh, geez.
Very kind,
mate.
Cadel.
Too kind. Well, thank you very much, mate. I'm sure that cricket bat that you had signed by everyone's pretty hot property, and you can now go and tell everyone that you featured on the 100th episode. So thank you very much for coming on. Appreciate it, mate, and keep up the great work.
Okay, thank you.
Righto, Rhodey, we're going to get Dan while we're going, aren't we?
Now it's time to get our guest on the line. We will ask them the all-important 5 questions, then chat all things fishing in SA.
So, Rhodey, Dan has been a great supporter of our podcast, and thank you, Dan, for contributing to the prizes there today. Some spectacular gear you've got. The Fishing Guru is your name, and some really great quality tackle items that you have. And thank you for being a supporter of the podcast over the last 100 episodes and joining us today, mate.
No, thanks for your support, guys. Really appreciate it.
And Dan, you'd have to be generally the first one to comment on our posts. You're pretty keen listener.
That is my goal. Yeah, that's the game plan. You know, sometimes you catch me asleep, so I apologise, but
not always. But yes, you're very hot on it, Dan. So now you're a good one for this. Tell us about your fishing lately.
So I've recently had a bit of a career change, and now I'm very lucky in the fact I get paid to take people out fishing. But
good.
On a bit of a personal note, it's probably inspired me to get out a little bit more as well, which is really good. So when I was in the tackle shop, it's all good to sit there and talk fishing all day, but you get a little bit over it and a little bit sick of it, and you don't do so much yourself. So now I've been inspired. I'm getting out a little bit more for my own as well, and doing really well for it. So
excellent, mate. And we love following you along on the socials. You've always got some great catch and cooks and stuff that you've been up to, and throw in a few parties at your house, mate. It keeps us well entertained.
Yeah, not so much fishing at the parties. bit of the old arm workout.
Yes, that's it. Very good, mate. Tell us a highlight of yours from the first 100 episodes.
I think I only got these questions about 20 minutes ago, but I think for me, I reckon it's probably the boat show episodes.
Okay.
I think that you guys really sort of thrive in that live interactive environment, and it'd be really cool to see some more of that sort of stuff. So it's just something a little bit different from the odd, call up your guest and do your spills, and don't get me wrong, we love that, but that boat show provides something just that little bit. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the interactiveness of it or whatever, but I really look forward to those ones. So
beautiful. Well, what's your favourite guest? Who's been your favourite?
Look, you guys have had some massive names. You've had Worstow, you've had like Alex Carey, you've had James Flack, and, but I think for me, I'm gonna play the diplomat today, much like Harry did, and I think for me, it's your best guests, in my opinion, are the local guys. I think I said it back in like episode 5 or 6 or whatever it was, but the local supporting local is something that traditionally we haven't necessarily had very strong here in South Australia, and the last few years it's really picked up, and you guys have actually been a really big part of that. So we want to thank you for, think about everyone you've had. You've had not only myself a couple of times, you've had Simon from Savage Tackle, and then his predecessor David as well. You've had the guys from Squid, and then Rod before that as well, Flacky, and all the RecFish guys, and like Alex Carey and Nashi, and obviously Asher and Harry, and just your support for the local fishing community is phenomenal, guys, and well done. Keep that up.
Thank you, mate. Really appreciate it. Tell us about any bits of advice you've got for the next 100.
Oh, look, it's as Cadel said, it's pretty much spot on, guys. You've come on your own sort of path as well. If you go back and listen to the earlier episodes, they're a different episode from today, but they're still as entertaining. A little bit more entertaining now that you've upgraded the hardware a little bit, and we can actually hear what people are saying. Might be worth investing in a new MacBook, so you don't get those little sort of glitches every now and then. But apart from that, just keep up the good work. Just, keep supporting local, and well done, and congratulations again on your 100.
Do you think we should bring back the fishing joke?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, 100%. And get input from your followers as well. So
we'll bring that back by special request only, will we?
Was it you, Rhodey, or was it Diz that was trying to pull it off? One of them was...
I think it was Rhodey that killed the joke.
I reckon it was Rhodey that kind of killed it off.
I've actually just discovered on this mixer I can put in an automatic laugh, so that might make the jokes work.
Definitely bring back the fishing joke. Keep up with the snake reports.
Yes, we love the snake reports.
Love a few snake reports.
And well done, guys.
All right, Diz, we've got guest number 4 for the 100th episode, Simon from Savage Tackle. He is, again, a repeat offender. We've had him on here a couple of times. He helped us out at the boat show, and he's an avid listener. Simon, welcome aboard.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you, Simon, for being such a great supporter of ours. You have a spectacular business, Savage Tackle. You do a great job with all terminal tackle and things that you do, especially sinkers do the job for sure. Mate, thank you very much for contributing to the prizes today. We're going to have those prizes announced very shortly, but before we do get into that, tell us about how your own personal fishing's been going lately, mate.
So just after Christmas, we went away to a place called RecFish, which is just south of Tummy Bay. Weather wasn't on our side most of the time. For the couple of weeks we were there, but we got out 4 times and got a couple of bag limits of whiting, so that was pretty good. So,
couple of bag limits of whiting, mate. That's excellent.
Yeah, can't complain at that. Most of them are good size too. So,
and you certainly weren't the only one to be hurt by the summer weather this year, as we were discussing earlier.
Yeah, not the best of weather. I think we had about 4 or 5 storms roll through in the time we were there. So, just fishing around them.
Beautiful. Now, Simon, what has been your highlight of the first 100 episodes?
Just like getting tips off you guys. Like,
you're the first one to ever say that. Normally everyone says I like learning what not to do.
Just like the hand wipes and things like that in the boat, and the sponge in the burley pot with a bit of oil on it. Just little tips like that.
Yeah,
beautiful. We're glad someone's listening.
Can you give us a favourite guest that you've listened to over the journey?
I've probably got 3, and they would be all port players. So there'd be Scott Lysett, there would be Hamish Harler and Tom Jonas.
Beautiful.
So being a port man, it's always good to listen to the port players, but also other sports people I enjoy listening to, like Nick McHenry and Alex Carey recently. That was a good chat.
Yep, excellent. Yeah, well, Scooter Lysett did say he was going to pop in for a beer, so
he must be running ladies. He did.
Very good. And mate, tell us, have you got any advice for the next 100?
Well,
we get there.
Yeah, well, you did talk about this earlier, but I think bring back the joke.
There you go.
From the first couple of episodes.
It's gathering support, Dan.
I think the joke needs to come back maybe once every 5 episodes or something, maybe.
Yeah, that's right.
Not every week and not every episode.
We'll have to lean on the listeners, I reckon, Rody, to get some decent ones.
Maybe if everyone can start sending in their jokes now, we'll build up a bit of a back catalogue and then we'll be ready to roll into them, Diz.
Sounds good. Excellent, mate. Well, good to hear you've been doing some fishing recently, and thank you again very much for supporting us along the journey. Savage Tackle is a great brand, and local, like Dan was saying earlier, we had on. It's just fantastic to catch up with you whenever we can, mate, and love what you do, so keep it up.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's good to support the locals, and I enjoy listening to the podcast in the shed when I'm making sinkers and stuff like that. So, yeah, it keeps me entertained.
Beautiful. Thanks a lot, Simon.
Geez, that was a nice little throwback, Rody, to what was a spectacular afternoon for the 100th episode. We're certainly looking forward to doing a bit more of that stuff in 2024, I think, Rody.
Yeah, Diz, that was something that came across when we were talking to members of the group that were there on the day, that they like this sort of live event and something they think we should do more of in the future. So we're going to listen to the fans, and that is what we're going to do, Diz.
Yeah, love it, Rody. That'll be fantastic. Now, before we move on to the fishing report, Rody, let's just do a bit of a recap for anybody who hasn't seen us on the socials around the comp winners. Rody, talk us through who managed to take away the great prizes we had on offer on the day.
Dizzy, so Olivia correctly guessed closest to the jar of sinkers, which was 6.383 kilos. So we had the jar, people could pick it up, have a feel, write down their guess, and Olivia won that one. Rebecca, daughter of Simon, she got closest to the pin, guessing. So we had 5,046 minutes of podcast over the first 99 episodes.
Wow.
She got closer to that number.
So she guessed
pretty close to that number. I don't have the guess in front of me, but it was very close.
Yeah, I think it was, I've sort of thought it might have been 5,050.
Yeah, I can't remember, Diz. I do have the notepad
close
somewhere, but I can't see it right now. You've got me on the spot, Diz.
Well done, Rebecca. Very deserving winner.
And the third competition, Jody guessed closest to the 573 tuna that were caught and released in the 2023 Port Lincoln Tuna Comp.
Yeah, it's an impressive number of fish, and we're hoping to top it this year.
And Vlad won the lucky door prize
Wow.
which was the Sports Fishing Scene voucher.
$200 to spend at Sports Fishing Scene. Very jealous of
big
that.
thank you to Sports Fishing Scene, Shimano Fishing, Troll So Hard Lures, The Fishing Guru, Squid Easy, and Savage Tackle for supporting us with some great prizes and some great giveaways on the day.
Oh, it was fantastic, Rhodey, and we really do thank them. We love those people who help supporting us along this journey. We really do appreciate it. And so, yeah, fantastic day all in all, Rhodey, I thought. And for the episode, before we wrap things up, Rhodey, we best do a fishing report.
Rhodey and Diz have been out on the water to bring you the news about where they're biting. Now it's time for the fishing report.
Righto, Rhodey, let's start talking about the tuna. So they are very much hit and miss off Warina. I can tell you that much for nothing.
Victor sounds similar?
Does sound similar. Certainly seeing people getting them, whether they're needing to travel a very long way to find them or whether they're just stumbling across a school as they're on the hunt for them, so to speak. The Eyre Peninsula seems reasonably reliable. Seeing quite a few catches over there and have been for a number of weeks now. So
And
I think there's some good fish over there.
Kristen Goodchild got him off bottom of Yorks too. I saw that.
Very good. Very good catch down there. So that was good. And we did have Jack. So Ella's partner Jack went diving north coast of KI. They launched at Yorks, went across. North coast of KI, saw heaps of tuna.
Yeah, saw schools jumping but weren't good enough to catch him, Diz. So bit disappointing, Jack.
What do we sort of say? Not good enough? Or?
No, not good enough.
Fair enough. I'd agree. But they got the bag of crays, so they'll be pretty happy with that.
Yeah. What's the prize when you don't win the real prize? Consolation prize.
Yeah, fair enough. Rhodey, Sambo's getting around on the Eyre Peninsula.
Dizzy, they are big Samson fish. They're going hard. It's the time of year for them.
Yeah, love them. The trucks of the ocean, they call them.
And if you weren't going to catch a Samson fish, probably the next best is the kingfish.
Yep.
They were firing 2 weeks ago. The weekend just gone. We didn't get one. We only saw a couple of smaller ones caught out on that lump off Cape Jarvis.
Yeah.
So maybe slowing down. Maybe it was just a bad day.
Maybe. Yep. Yep. We hope that area will sustain a lot of fishing pressure. So we are certainly not advocating for going down there and dropping baits. You'll end up catching more snapper. You need to try and find the fish on your sounder and be jigging at the right depth and that sort of thing, Rhodey.
You do, Diz, and as we said before, make sure you got your release weight. So if you do catch a snapper as bycatch, you can give it the best chance. Absolutely.
Rhodey, I have heard and seen some excellent catches of mullies in the Coorong. Rhodey, Ben Calvert, who we had on a recent episode.
Yeah, he's been smashing them.
He's been smashing them down there, doing really well.
And I've seen quite a few reports on the various Facebook pages floating around. Lots of others doing well in the Coorong down there as well.
Yeah.
Sounds like that fishery is going pretty well this year, Diz. I don't know whether that's on the back of all the floods last year or what that means for the bigger picture.
Yeah.
But good to see the Mulloway firing. And also, did some of those blokes that get out the Murray Mouth and cast lures, they've been getting fish too.
Yeah,
from all reports.
Yeah. No, very good. Rhodey, Wanna Fish Charter's always getting onto the fish. Had a couple of good days, I think, on the tuna, but then they went missing again. But they always managed to, Tice always managed to get people on the fish down there. And what he did manage to do was get somebody on a 3 kilo cray caught on the line.
You wouldn't believe your eyes when that came up, would you?
Unbelievable.
I know you do see that occasionally.
Yeah.
You don't see it a lot.
No.
It's a pretty good catch.
Oh, it's a very good catch and a catch and an excellent size cray too, 3 kilos.
Yeah, good chew on that one, Diz.
Absolutely. Rhodey, blue swimmer crabs are everywhere. They're in good numbers across the state. I think they're going to continue to stay that way for a little while. Good reports coming in from all over the place.
They're a bit late to the party this year. They're probably only just firing up. Is that fair?
They seem to be, yeah. Maybe it's that water temp.
It probably wasn't a really hot start to summer. And I know a couple of people have said they're a bit smaller and they're not that full of meat.
Yeah, have seen a few people. Very soft shells. In fact, I think my old man might have caught a few.
It is starting to warm up, but maybe hasn't been as good a start to the year as previous years, Diz.
Yeah. I think, it's not unusual for people to do really well on blue swimmers in February and March, but still, I think it's fair to say it's been a slower than usual season.
Yeah, it has, Diz. What else?
Roadie Dan, we love following him along. He's a great supporter of the show. Of course, we're talking about the fishing guru. He's got a great job in supporting some of his clients now, and he manages to get out down fishing a bit as his sort of quote-unquote work. But we love seeing his adventures down there. He's been getting on to leatheries. He's been getting on to squid. He's been getting on to some crabs. He's even been catching crab pots with squid jags.
Oh, how do you do that?
Well, I think he probably let the squid jag get a little bit low to
Was he trying to catch the bottom?
I don't know. Either that or it could have been that float that sort of just keeps the net away, and they managed to catch that, in which case you'd say his squid jag was probably at the right depth.
Yeah.
But yeah, jagged that, and imagine that would have put up a pretty reasonable fight, Rody.
Yeah, it would have, Diz. Hope you had a bit of a pretty serious breaking strain line going
Would
around.
have thought so. All right, Rody, that's a very nice little fishing report to wrap things up there. Where can the listeners find us?
Dizzy, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast from. We're also on your Facebook and your Instagram. Send us in your photos. We've got a long weekend coming up, so make sure you do keep us in the loop. We're off to KI before long, so we can't wait to get into that, Diz.
Yeah, going to be a great week away. We love getting on to KI, and hopefully the fish are biting.
And thanks again to everyone who came along to the 100th episode, everyone that's listened across the first 99 episodes, and to all those great South Australian and Australian companies that helped us out with prizes on the day. So thanks a lot, guys.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for listening.
Rody and Diz hope you enjoyed today's episode of All the Gear But No Idea. Keep up to date by liking and sharing us on Facebook and Instagram. And you can subscribe on all the major podcast platforms. Until next time, good luck fishing.